Essentially, we have a fifth column movement in the United States that is criminal in nature, criminal in background, and criminal in future intent, with a religious mission that's been retrofitted onto them.
The enemy has been very bold in telling us what they want to do. They literally want to take over our country.
The group is responsible for over 50 attacks on U.S. soil and has over 35 compounds right here in our very own nation. Now, a new investigation by the Christian Action Network has uncovered some disturbing information about the spread of homegrown terrorists and what they mean for America.
They stockpiled weapons, they stockpiled explosives, they targeted Hindus, they targeted Jews, they targeted other Muslims, they targeted Christians, they terrorized. Fire!
We want to declare once and for all that America is our country. We will defend our country against all these enemies. You're a liar.
Watch the video.
You're a liar.
Get out.
No one ever
Get out.
turns their phone.
Get out.
What's going on, man? Charlie about, check it out. Look at what I got in my box this week is gonna be. Whew. It looks like a mind fog, America. Let's get this video started. It blows my mind to understand that the American people live in a beta state of mind, a slight hypnotic trance, a term coined mind fog. Those are real old terms, and I'm sorry to tell you, wake the hell up already, because this country is in a bunch of trouble, and they need the American people to know the truth today. The best antidote for this sickness is a heavy dose of truth. Or are you going to be a tool your whole life? Reality is, America, that those nuclear weapons are really missing from Dryas Air Force Base. And the mainstream media and your government don't think it's worthy news to warn the American people. Is there going to be a false flag event to blame Patriots in the near future and this economic collapse? Reality is a motherfucker, isn't it? I warned you guys about this in a past video, that the #2 commander of Iran's army said they have sleeper cells in the United States of America today, and at a moment's notice, they will pounce on key infrastructure sites in our soil. Do you think the United States government knows about it in the media? Well, if I'm telling you, you know it has to be true, that they have to know this information themselves. But they don't warn the American public. There's an article over there, World Net Daily, and in that article it says that 35 terror training camps are now operating within the United States soil. And you think that when they put the TSA in your airports, it was for terrorists to catch them and to make you a little bit safer. And then when you came out with Snowden telling you guys about the PRISM organization or that operation, that they're spying on all your emails and all your information and looking at all your Facebook, gathering information about you, the American people, or is it the terrorists to keep us a little bit safer? Are you going to be that naive to not want to put these pieces together? It is not the terrorists that they're training to attack today. It's not the terrorists that they think is the #1 threat to America. It's going to be you, the returning war veterans and the Patriot groups. But you know, it's not like they're preparing for it, right? Just a little bit of more truth. Did you guys happen to catch the article over there at Infowars.com? The United States Army builds a fake city in Virginia to practice military occupation. In other words, martial law. When this upcoming collapse happens right around the corner, they know that you're going to be mad when you realize your form of life, the way you've been living this American dream, is at an abrupt end. And there is a world government being orchestrated, and they have to take away all your sovereignties. What is truly going on, America? This city took 2 years to build, $96 million of American taxpayer money. They had the school, a bank, a subway system that mirrors Washington, D.C. and churches, not Muslim mosques, but Christian churches, Catholic churches, because they're under attack of the American people, the United States government. Their number one problem, this New World Order, is the American people and their belief in checks and balances, the Constitution of Republic. Let me give you guys a little bit example. They always told you guys live in a democracy, right? But how is it treating you? Today, we live in a true democracy when the power's with the government officials and character doesn't count anymore. Honor isn't something that's within our society anymore. So you're gonna cry about their actions of their government when they take those bribes and they accept a new world order? And you think the media is gonna explain to you guys and put it together in a nice package to expose tyranny? No, they're both being paid off by the same people. But the joke is on you because they kept you entertained, they kept you distracted, and they did their job for the devil. See, you could choose to ignore all these things, but you know what? The truth hurts when someone tells you stuff you don't want to know. So I'm always trying to tell you guys and give you guys information that you really truly don't want to hear today. And I understand why I don't get all the subscribers. I understand why more people don't watch these videos. It's because I'm telling them stuff that they don't truly want to hear. But do not be naive that you don't think you're going to pay the consequences to the actions by our government. They put us in harm's way everywhere around the world. The world hates us today when everybody used to like us. They admired us. They came here for the American dream, to right to own property and keep some kind of wealth, but they took that away from the American people. Every time you register your car, you gave it to the government. Every time you pay your property taxes, you give it over to your government. And that ain't bad enough. When you die, they want to take away half your net wealth and your kids get the other half. Man, I guess reality must be really good living in your world, right? In my world, the collectivism, the new technocratic society, a one world government, understanding checks and balances within a constitutional republic, that's the world that I live in. So what are you going to choose to do with your life? You need to figure out what you stand for and who you are. Because if you draw that line and you finally stand for something, you won't continuously fall for everything. America, wake up, wake up. So if you're not going to do everything in your power to restore your life, liberty, and this country, America, you're going to do everything in your power to destroy all three. Charlie the Box out.
1 million people have been murdered in cold blood and more are still being murdered. We, the American people, whose Constitution guarantees freedom, whose country came into existence after fighting the English for religious freedom, now sees our government denying us our fundamental rights.
Go!
Okay.
Ready?
Get the hit. Fatima.
Go!
Boom, boom. Go, come on, go. Put your hand down. The bee, haha.
More. Over, down. Online, come on. Back up on this end, too far. Back up. Look at this line, straighten it. Hold up. Move up the line. Right flat.
The closer you get to the ground, the harder it is to hit you, you know.
Fire!
Now, a new investigation by the Christian Action Network has uncovered some disturbing information about the spread of homegrown terrorists and what they mean for America. It's a frightening thought. Islamic terrorist training camps right here in America in our backyards. The group Muslims of America, or Jamaat al-Furqa, as they're called in Pakistan, have established over 35 communities across the U.S. The group claims to be peaceful, but a videotape uncovered by the Christian Action Network shows that they can have a much more sinister side. The video, called The Soldiers of Allah, features Sheikh Mubarak Ali Ghanali, the mastermind and the leader of the group here in the U.S.
We are establishing training camps. You can reach us, you know, at Roanoke University offices in upstate New York, or in Canada, or in Michigan, or in South Carolina, or in Pakistan, wherever we are, you can reach us.
The tape goes on to teach Golani's American followers tactics in guerrilla warfare, including scaling mountains, subduing enemies, murdering guards, hijacking cars, kidnapping, weapons training, and setting off explosives. Golani is a Pakistani national best known for allegedly setting up journalist Daniel Pearl in 2002. Pearl was on the way to meet with him when he was abducted and eventually gruesomely beheaded. Armed with the, quote, Soldier of Allah training video and a history of Golani's terrorist rhetoric, investigators went to several of the compounds to confront his followers.
You are a liar and you're a liar.
Don't say another word. Understand?
They were met with denial, hostility, and in some cases even violence.
Clearly looks like either knife holes or bullet holes.
And the question remains, why have these communities been left to flourish here in the U.S.? And is it only a matter of time before this anger spills on over into a violent incident?